On the surface, Stain is just another villain, a scarred swordsman who prowls the alleys, cutting down pro-heroes without mercy. But underneath that brutal exterior is something far more dangerous: conviction. The hero killer isn't driven by greed, destruction, or even chaos. He fights for an ideology, one so powerful that it shook hero society to its core, and even the villains couldn't ignore it. Armed with his terrifying quirk Blood Curdle and a blade for every occasion, Stain stands as one of the deadliest assassins in My Hero Academia. But where does he really rank in our threat level system? Let's find out in today's investigation. To start, we must first analyze Stain's combat feats and physical power to determine his strength in survival situations. Stain is unmatched in 1v1 combat. His quirk Blood Curdle, which lets him immobilize anybody by ingesting their blood, is a scary quirk indeed. This makes him best suited as a pure assassin type, and his entire loadout shows it, carrying almost unlimited blades, from switch knives to kunai, and of course his signature dual katanas. His fighting style is fast, aggressive, and always looking to end a battle quickly, so if you get caught slipping, it could be over in seconds. This is what makes Stain so dangerous, because even heroes that completely outscale him when it comes to quirk power can still lose once he gets their blood. It doesn't matter how strong or fast you are, if he activates his quirk, then you're finished. And even without his quirk, Stain's physical conditioning puts him as an elite fighter. His agility, reflexes and stamina let him fight toe-to-toe with multiple pro heroes, something a weaker villain could never do. But the first problem here is that his power only works in My Hero Academia, because all the characters are living beings. Against somebody like Rimuru or the Floor Guardians who are undead, or even Kaiju number 8 who runs on a power core instead of a heart, it would be basically impossible for Stain to win. When it comes to living threats though, he is at the top of his game. Even the best in threat level hero would find Stain a nightmare opponent. Mash Burndead and Sakamoto might be comically strong and fast, but they can still be taken out if Stain gets their blood. Stain is also very aware of his limits and will leave the second he thinks he can't win. That's why he never faced Endeavor or stronger heroes, because he doesn't stay long enough to get caught off guard. His fighting instincts are some of the sharpest in My Hero Academia, and it shows. Even off balance, mid-air or injured, he somehow reacts and causes fatal damage, and can pinpoint vital spots almost instantly. When Midoriya was taken by the winged Nomu, Stain caught it mid-flight and killed it with a single strike. Not the same kind of high-end Nomu Endeavor fought, but still a crazy feat that proves his precision and lethality. But of course, his quirk does have weaknesses. If he can't get someone's blood fighting a group or against range attacks, he struggles. We saw this in the back alley fight with Todoroki, Midoriya and Ida. He wiped out the brawler types quickly, but Todoroki's ice walls kept him pinned down. Against range types or magic casters, he's at a serious disadvantage, and Stain knows this. That's why he relies so heavily on surprise attacks, counters and stealth instead of straight up brawls. But remember, agents, power isn't everything. A wise man can take down a whole army on his own if his timing is right. So how does he fare when it comes to a battle of wits? Even in intelligence, Stain is one of the best in his class. Not just as an incredible fighter with battle IQ to use his quirk perfectly, he is also a deep thinker with steadfast morals. His actions are undeniably villainous. He has killed more than 40 pro heroes, but his ideology commands respect. Without him, the League of Villains likely would have stalled far longer, because Stain's message gave Shigaraki and his crew legitimacy and momentum. Stain believed that hero society had been corrupted by fame and greed, that the original reason for saving people had been replaced by vanity. He saw the weaknesses of the hero system clearly and acted on them, showing what a skilled villain could do against heroes who were unprepared. But he didn't seek to collapse hero society. He wanted to fix it, to remove those heroes who had lost their way. This becomes clear in his encounter with All Might. At the time, All Might was at his lowest, struggling to uphold hope in his faltering world. Stain didn't strike him down. Instead, he recognized All Might, a hero whose conviction, fearless smile and hope could actually inspire change. By sparing him and even offering insight onto the League of Villains, Stain actively helped All Might reignite his purpose. This moment shows Stain's true motivation. He isn't a mindless killer, he's a visionary, and he rewards those who align with his ideals. That selective judgment carries through his actions elsewhere, like sparing Midoriya after saving him from the Nomu. Stain only kills heroes he deems unworthy, targeting those whose fame and greed harm society rather than lift it up. Unlike the League of Villains who destroy without purpose, Stain's goal is reform, not chaos, and in another life, he might have been a hero. And this ideology would make him just as dangerous in other universes. In Naruto, he could sway hardened shinobi who wrestle with loyalty and justice. And in One Piece, even pirates and marines would pause at his unforgettable conviction. His quirk makes him lethal, but his vision and unwavering will make him unforgettable. And now we move on to the final stage of the investigation, his unique traits that elevate him from hardened assassin to high priority threat in the field. Stain's unique trait is one of the most fascinating in My Hero Academia, his unrelenting aura. The only time we really see something like this is when the pro heroes come face to face with All for One for the first time. Stain has this overwhelming presence that makes even pro heroes freeze, not just because of his quirk, but because of his sheer willpower and conviction. Unlike most villains, Stain fights with an endless will to bring about his vision of the world. He is not just a killer, he's a zealot with battle sense and skill to match. That's why he feels like the embodiment of pure, unshakable energy. When he gets serious, even seasoned powerhouses like Gran Torino or Endeavor struggle to act. If he hadn't passed out from pain and exhaustion after his fight, the situation could have ended deadly. But his aura is different from All for One's. All for One controls through fear, manipulation, and overwhelming dominance, but Stain controls the room through conviction. His words froze the heroes not because of his presence, but because he was speaking the truth. They knew deep down that the world of heroes was rotting, and Stain was holding up a mirror to their flaws. That's why Endeavor, Gran Torino, and the other pros couldn't move. It wasn't just intimidation, it was the sting of knowing he wasn't entirely wrong. Stain's unique trait is his unrelenting conviction made manifest. His body can break, his quirk can be countered, but his will to fight for his ideology turns into something far more dangerous than just a skilled assassin could do. And with that, the investigation has concluded. So where will we put Stain in our threat level system? In straight combat, he is a nightmare. One cut, one lick of blood, and the fight is over. Heroes who should have outclassed him, like Ida or Deku, were taken apart in seconds. His agility, precision, and assassin's toolkit makes him one of the most dangerous close-range fighters in all of anime. But his quirk is limited. No blood means no paralysis. Undead, artificial, or energy-based fighters from other worlds would render him nearly useless. And even within his own universe, range specialists like Todoroki showed how to keep him at bay. But where he elevates beyond standard assassin is in his intelligence and ideology. Stain wasn't just cutting down heroes, he was exposing their flaws. He basically predicted the collapse of hero society before it happened, and his words shook both villains and heroes to their core. Even All Might, the one person Stain respected above all else, became proof of his philosophy, a hero not defined by fame or greed, but by conviction. And that's what made Stain dangerous, not just as a fighter, but as a symbol. Stain's presence was so overwhelming, it froze even pro heroes like Endeavor and Gran Torino in their tracks. But at the end of the day, aura and words don't win a fight. Against range casters, bloodless beings, or reality-bending powers, Stain has no answers. His quirk is lethal, but niche. His body is strong, but not superhuman. His philosophy is terrifying, but philosophy doesn't stop a meteor, a dragon, or someone like Saitama. That's why, in the end, Stain ranks at threat level hero at the A tier. Not a god, not double S, but absolutely among the highest tier of human level fighters. He is someone who can kill the unprepared in seconds, inspire an entire generation with his ideology, and change the course of society. But he's also someone who, outside his blood-fueled world, has clear counters. And that concludes our Stain investigation. Do you think he deserves a higher ranking, or does his lack of superhuman abilities hold him back? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next target. Thank you for watching.